251.941 million years ago, one of the greatest paleontological mysteries took place. 90% of all life on the Earth had died from a terrible extinction. Whether it was caused by acid rain, volcanic activity, or meteors bombarding the Earth, scientists agree that the Permian extinction was an early sign of the cruelty of nature. However, life visits the now barren land, bringing hope to the planet. As the gift of life pours from the heavens, a small reptile drinks up some of the rain. One day, this desert will become a great grassland, and this small reptile will become the amazing Tanystropheus. This is the humble beginning of the Mesozoic. Millions of years later, the desert has become a large grassland full of bodies of water. As one of the greatest sources of fresh water on the planet, these swamp-like areas were one of the most populated areas on the entirety of Earth. One such form of life is the majestic yet endearing Tanystropheus. This Tanystropheus is beginning its day by eating a morning meal. The Tanystropheus uses her long neck to lower her head to the water without actually entering the lake. Intrigued by the shadow of the Tanystropheus's neck, the fish swim closer. After catching one last fish, the Tanystropheus sees that the lake has severely shrunk and all of its food has disappeared. Unfortunately, this was the dry season, and there was no hope for the lake to ever hold any more fish. As such, Tanystropheus must travel to the coast of Pangaea to search for survival. While not fully equipped for a fully terrestrial life, the great Tanystropheus can temporarily survive on land. 1 million years ago, 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 1 one of the most unique species of this time period. The pterosaur fills the role of flying predator of the skies. This was originally held by the megatherium of the Carboniferous. However, the pterosaur is a great example of one of these experimental organisms to populate the Triassic. Usually, a pterosaur would be a good source to try to find the coast. However, this pterosaur is starving and is looking for a more terrestrial diet. A lonely Trypanosaurus is taking a nap on a conifer, acting as the perfect prey item for the hungry pterosaur. Startled, the clever Trypanosaurus lowers itself deeper into the branches, where the pterosaur will never find it. Not able to find the Trypanosaurus, the pterosaur flew away. The forest was difficult to navigate through anyways. Time was slowly dying, and the Tanystropheus had to move quickly in order to find the coast. Luckily, the pterosaur decided to fly east, the location of the coast. Walking as fast as possible, the Tanystropheus had to travel in order to find any trace of survival. Lucky this time, the Tanystropheus has little time to find her new home. Slowly but surely, the Tanystropheus will get to the coast in time for her survival. The stakes are high, but her determination is higher. It has grown dark, and Tanystropheus has grown tired. Now, a cynodont, one of the last proto-mammals on Earth, has risen from its underground home to hunt for prey during this night. However, these two animals are not safe from what is to come. As the footsteps of the greatest predator known to these animals stomps forward, the ecosystem echoes with terror. It has stopped because the most advanced predator on this stage of the Jurassic, the Protocarnifex, has risen and it is looking for food. Carnifex spots the cynodont first, and the cynodont is ready to fight. Tanystropheus escapes as quickly as she can. As Cynodont slashes the jaw of Protocarnifex, the Protocarnifex tries to bite the paw, only to attempt to rip it off. Cynodont plans to slam his opponent into a large tree in the middle of the forest. However, this causes the Cynodont to fall, and as such, the Protocarnifex eats the Cynodont. With the one last cry for help, the Cynodont tries to scrape the jaw of the Protocarnifex. While winning this round, the prehistory of Earth will have a different answer for which kingdom of animals will have the greatest success. Lucky this time, the Tanystropheus continues on her journey, thankful that she wasn't spotted first. Finally, the Tanystropheus finds the Triassic coast just in time for her next breakfast. However, she sees the snout of a mysterious, unseen creature. As this crocodile jumps at her, she comes to the realization that she's the last of her kind. The Tanystropheus jumps away just in time, yet she has fallen victim to the end of the beginning. It has been millions of years since the beginning of the Mesozoic, as the rest of the Triassic period has become a desert similar to the Permian before it. Creatures other than reptiles are scarce, and very few plants remain. Only mosses, ferns, and rare trees. Water is a rare resource on Pangaea, and only tough creatures like Prestasuchus can remain. A young adult, this Prestasuchus is hunting smaller prey items, and as such sees one of the most mysterious creatures in its area. This is Mesosaurus, one of the very first sauropods to ever walk the earth. This is a great prey for something like the Prestasuchus to hunt. However, when Prestasuchus goes to find its meal, he realizes that it has already been stolen. However, this creature revealed a severe clue, giving away a footprint. This footprint is a symbol of a threat to its territory. Disappointed by its lack of food on its first hunt, the Prestasuchus decides to go to one of the last places water can be found. Unfortunately, no water is left, only the remains of an unlucky Dicynodont. When getting closer, however, the mysterious roar of another creature comes into the ears of the Prestasuchus. While similar, this Triassic predator has special ornithian hips. This is Herrerasaurus, one of the greatest predators of its era. Snapping at the Prestasuchus, the Herrerasaurus is trying to make itself known as the greatest predator in all of the Triassic period. The Prestasuchus stepped back and used its claws to attack this new foe. Guard, The Herrerasaurus decides to leave, leaving the Prestosuchus with the carcass. It has only been 3 weeks later, but the Triassic has ran out of water. Very few plants now live here, as the Prestosuchus is starving for prey. Only one prey item remains in what will now become South America. This lonely yet mysterious Mesosaurus is the only thing to keep Prestosuchus alive. The starving Prestosuchus comes nearer to its prey until suddenly stopping, as its adversary has come to take its food. This battle is not only for survival, but for the crown of who will become the great predator of the Triassic. Herrerasaurus attacks first, slashing the jaw of Prestosuchus, attempting to bite, only for Prestosuchus to grab the arm of Herrerasaurus, trying to yank it off. Herrerasaurus struggles free and tries to jump upon the Prestosuchus, trying to crush it with its own body weight. Prestosuchus bites on the ribs, but the Herrerasaurus kicks the Prestosuchus to the ground. As such, both animals are heavily wounded, but neither are dead. However, time tells us that the Prestosuchus and all of its family have become extinct, and the Herrerasaurus and its descendants have come forth claiming the role of victor. Now, it is time to leave the realm of the deserts of the Triassic into the forests of the Jurassic, where dinosaurs shall become supreme ruler. Descendants of Herrerasaurus meet the soil that the Jurassic started out with. A new chapter has begun in the earth. And as the book of life continues,